Hi, friends. We build our whole life on the foundations of popular narratives and ideologies that are constructed in society to be true, to be real. So these ideologies and narratives drive our life. They condition our thought, our behavior, our entire lifestyle. And as long as we are conditioned, we are under influence, it's impossible to find fulfillment and joy in our life. Of course, our end goal, our purpose of the life is to find fulfillment, to live a fulfilled, content, and completely satisfied life. And we do anything and everything to achieve those goals. But unfortunately, we are under the influence of these isms, these ideologies, like religion, culture, tradition, liberalism, atheism, feminism. So we make our whole life very narrowistic by accepting these outward ideologies. One particular religion, one particular culture, tradition, and spirituality. So our life becomes narrow, our worldview becomes very narrow, our lifestyle becomes very narrow. And another problem is we begin to antagonize other worldviews. We think this is the only way to achieve success, happiness, joy, and fulfillment in our life. This is the only way to live life, to live a civilized life, right? And anyone who has an alternative worldview, we think that is, sometimes we think that is stupid. Sometimes we think it's not going to work. Sometimes we begin to antagonize those worldviews as well. For example, vegans hate non-vegetarians and non-vegetarians hate vegans. But they both are driven by some ideologies that are constructed in society to be real. That's one problem. And similarly, one religious group hate another religious group. It is same. And if you find good people and bad people in both religious groups. But antagonizing is a big problem. And as long as you think that your worldview is only the way to achieve success and happiness, you can never find fulfillment in life because you are under influence. You are conditioned by outward authority and outward ideology. You must turn towards your inner authority. This conditioning completely suppresses your inner authority, completely suppresses what you exactly want in life, your demands, your restrictions, your intuitions. It suppresses everything. You begin to follow one particular method, a system to live up to the standards of these socially constructed ideas. So now you are living for something else, not for yourself. That is problem number 2. And the problem number 3 is when we follow these methods, systems to live up to the standards of particular ism or ideology or narrative, we become bored because they don't work. You can never find fulfillment. That's why we shift from one pattern to other pattern. For example, spirituality to consumerism. That happens. So that spirituality also becomes a routine, a mechanical for you. Wake up, do some yoga, and try to stay away from constant buying patterns, so self-restraining, etc. And that becomes a burden on you at one point, and suddenly you wake up one day and say, do you know what, I'm going to have to buy a lot of stuff for my house. So that is that shift takes place. Minimalism to, again, spirituality, for example, and spirituality to consumerism, traditionalism to modernism. That happens very often. So you might be very traditional and suddenly you begin to realize that, you know what, I'm very bored, it's not working for me, and everybody in the world is modern, so why should I be traditional? So you begin to shift, reject these traditional ideas, methods, and systems and adopt modern methods and systems. Again, In both cases, you are driven by something else, some outward ideology. So the main problem here is we are dissatisfied, unfulfilled with our life. So instead of attacking our root cause of the misery, instead of attacking the root cause of the misery, what we do, we try to escape temporarily from one pattern to the other pattern. So when you are completely, say for example, when you are bored of spirituality, you jump and suddenly you say, you know what, I'm going to have to travel to find that happiness, to find that joy. So you begin to travel, and eventually you will become bored out of traveling, and you decide, you know what, this is not working, I'm going to have a stable life and stable life and stable job, and suddenly you shift from that pattern to this pattern. So this happens very often in our life. The solution is reject all these patterns, reject all these ideologies, methods, systems, popular narratives, and turn towards your inner authority. As simple as that, because these conditioning suppresses your inner authority. Once you turn towards your inner authority, our inner authority works very simple on a binary system, good and bad. It doesn't care about what ideology that existed in society, what is popular, what is more acceptable. It doesn't care. It only guides you what is right and what is wrong. That is our personal experience too. You might think about it. So what is right and what is wrong? As simple as that, positive and negative. When you make it as simple as that, because our inner authority, our conscious work on that very simple system, then your worldview suddenly becomes very broad. You don't antagonize any religion. You always find some positive in one religion and negative in the same religion. You accept positive, you reject negative. You don't antagonize any tradition, any culture, any ism. So you always tend to see positives in everything and accept the positive, and then you follow your intuitions. You follow the commands of your inner authority. In this case, now you are not conditioned, you are not influenced. And when you do that, you will connect with your authentic nature too, and you will make that first step to find fulfillment, joy, and happiness in our life. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day.